Hello, Virgo, and welcome to your monthly forecast. I'm Nicholas Ashbaugh. It's so nice to see everybody again. I hope this month is going well for you. We're going to take a look at September now and see what kind of energy and opportunities are coming through. We look at the good stuff, the challenging stuff, and everything else. This can be used for Sun, Rising, Moon, and Venus, and I always like to begin with live channeled messages. So in dreams last night, what I saw loud and clear was the importance of friendship. And I was kind of shown like almost like the line on your hand, but like a lifeline basically, and then punctuated moments where these friendships came through. And there were some that were long lasting, there were some that were short, but these were the good ones, these were the important ones. And I think this month more than ever, those friendships are going to play an important role in your happiness, in your health. They could be opening up opportunities for you. This might also be a time to create or establish new connections. So even though my channel is really broadly focused on whatever needs to come through, this month for you, it's those core relationships that showed up. So when we take a look at the Celtic Cross here in just a few moments, I'll be keeping an eye out for friends, for family members, for new love interests, whatever might come through in that area. The other thing that I was shown was someone kind of taking a chisel and chipping away at something. Some of you, this could be, an important goal, and it may. I got a sense of frustration initially, like, why is it taking so long? For some of you, you're trying to get beneath the layers to see what's underneath. So you may be chipping away at your own sort of self-development to understand what makes you tick. You might be trying to understand someone else. Progress is being made, but it is important to pace yourself, to take time to, just like in the Eight of Cups, like get distance and basically sort out your emotions, see the bigger picture, and make sure that there's not such a narrow focus, because that's what I was saying is a fixation on needing one thing right now. Like, I need to have this, and if this doesn't happen, it started to create like unnecessary anxiety. So we'll look for that as well as we take a look at the cards now. So let's dig in. I'm going to look at relationships and then progress on important goals, hopefully giving you perspective along the way. All right, everyone, please close your eyes. Let go of any sort of pre-existing thoughts. Just imagine a blue sky. And as you're seeing that blue sky, feel the connection to spirit, particularly angels and spirit guides. Let's bring them in first. Any ascended masters or higher beings as well that want to come through and show us what we need to see, now is the time. All right, open your eyes. Let's give the cards a shuffle, and let's see what's coming. There's an interesting synchronicity here. In the environment, we have the Ten of Cups. So already I'm starting to see some of those core relationships show up. So that's a nice affirmation. Let me pull the rest of the cards and then we'll dig into this. All right, we have some really powerful energy here, especially with death and rebirth here in the, not the catalyst, but the destiny card. So there's a lot of really cool stuff. Let's start with the catalyst, which actually is transformation. So you have bookends of transformation. So significant change, suffice it to say. So we have the moth. This is your catalyst. The moth is reversed. So there is a change or some movement that you're trying to affect, but it may not be happening in, like I said, in the timing that you'd like or in the shape or form that you would like. And one of the things that this encourages you to do is to think of different ways that you can show up, different ways that you can manifest your dream or your goal, and know that, change can be really, really good. I just talked about this for Libra as well, and it's coming through in your sign. So lots of energy around people for all signs this month, and there's a lot of energy of change. The cool thing is, by the time you're watching this, we'll be out of retrograde, so it feels like you're going to have a lot more control over this change. Metamorphosis, that's a big part of the experience of a moth or butterfly. So you may be anywhere in that it's a cocoon energy with this, not so much a chrysalis, but you may be anywhere in that, from the place where you're kind of like taking a lot of information in, like the caterpillar. So you might be researching, you might be looking for things, you might be educating yourself. You could just be sitting and waiting, which would be the cocoon energy, in which case you want to protect yourself. Or you could be finally realizing the goal or dream and spreading your wings. The important thing is, wherever you are in that metamorphosis is exactly where you should be. So just like the hanged man, this moth upside down is saying, take a moment and just look around. A moth doesn't matter which way it's facing, it can spread its wings and fly. So you're not stuck. That's the first thing that Spirit's saying. You're not stuck. You're just, maybe some of you, in a pause, in a sort of stasis, so that you can look around and think about different ways to show up and different ways that things can show up for you. Let's take a look at everything here on the spread here, just to kind of see the overarching journey and messages. Like I said when I was pulling cards, we can see the 10 of Cups right here in the environment, and that again is indicating the importance of relationships, so a nice synchronicity there. We see a momentary pause here with the 3 of Swords and the moth, but it gives way to the 2 of Wands. So there is a silver lining, okay? Things are going in the right direction. Themes of empowerment and abundance are coming through. Let's take it card by card. This is a really unusual sun. We have a woman that is sort of weaving gold together, or spinning gold rather, and there are 2 babies on this card. If you look at this card and then look at these 2, you're going to see it's basically a combination of the Empress and the Sun, but it's not just a typical Sun card because there's 2 children. So what this is showing me for many of you is, keep on working on what you're doing, and the universe is kind of bringing opportunities in 2s. So it could be in a couple of weeks, but there also could be a couple of options on the table for you. And that's exciting. But that also could be sort of like you wait and you wait and you wait and you wish, and then all of a sudden when it rains, it pours in a positive way. So a couple doors may have closed, but a couple of doors are also getting ready to open. This also reminds me of the phrase, taking straw and spinning it into gold, taking something that isn't great and making something good out of it, like making lemonade from lemons. So try to stay optimistic, try to stay really proactive, and engage with the energy of both the Empress and the Sun, and you might actually have a couple of great things coming through towards the end of the month. But there is a pause. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. And some of you may be frustrated, rightly so, with this pause, thinking, come on, Nicholas, why is it taking so long? Alignment. Synchronicities don't always happen when we want them, rather when we need them. And the universe is encouraging you to be patient. And I know, easier said than done. For those of you that are looking to get pregnant, this could be twins. There also might be like 2 optimal opportunities this month. And then just generally speaking, again, if we take a look at the traditional card, this is a card of birthing. So if there's something that you've been thinking of beginning, or if there's something that you have spent a long time working on, this is kind of the universe saying, come on, get out of that nest, baby bird. It's time to spread your wings and fly. And we got that here with the moth too. You'll know when the time is right. It will be easier. Things will kind of come together. And again, there may be 2 big kind of like spotlight moments for you. Have some fun with it. The playful child in this card reminds us of the importance of, smiling and laughing, especially because that playful energy, that bright energy that we see even in this illustration, brings about the crossing card in the form of the world, which is exposure, expansion, movement, and growth. For many of you, this is a breakthrough, and in the best possible form. The World card, of course, is at the very end of the Fool's Journey. It's the 21st card in the Major Arcana, and it means that finally something is going to land. There could be a chance to travel, something that you're trying to get might require a move or relocation. It's also simply a chance for those of you that are already established to really do something in a bigger way. So in business, this is thinking much more globally. This is also for those of you that maybe are an entrepreneur, it's a chance to podcast, broadcast, share something with the world. And of course, this is also like a publishing card too. So positive visibility and exposure, movement in the best way, and also the closing of a chapter door and a chance for something to go next level. By the way, I said I was going to look at love and relationships. This can be one that is really, gone the distance, and now there's a chance to get serious. So if you've been dating someone for a while and you were wondering, can we take it next level? The combination of those two cards is really auspicious. If you just met somebody new, there's the potential for that to go to like best friend status or just a deepening of that connection. And I found in this moment in time, it was really important to either reconnect with somebody or establish a connection. So nice validation there right off the start. Okay, deep past. So we have the King of Pentacles energy. I do love how he is sitting there with a pot of gold. For those of you especially that might be struggling financially, this card is reminding you of your value and that it is not connected to a job, a title, or certain dollar signs or, monetary symbols in your bank account. You're so much more than the exchange of some sort of currency. We do need it to survive in this material world. I get it. But it's asking you to just go into the worth. And this will help you with opening a channel up, and it can be part of your mantra. I am more, far more than what's in my bank account. I'm capable of achieving more than that. I am a beacon of abundance and opportunity, and I welcome it in. So really connect with that. You've done the work. This shows me that you are worthy. Not that you need to hear it from me, but it helps, right? You are valuable. You are a good partner. You bring something to the table. So believe in that and remember that when it comes to, for those of you that are applying for a job, putting that application out there. For those of you that are on a first date, not getting too nervous because that other person is looking at you and seeing the value just as well, okay? As we look at recent past here, we have the Emperor card. It's right in alignment with this King of Pentacles. It basically shows that you are self-sufficient. And sometimes the best way to get something done is to do it on your own. And so this is very entrepreneurial for those of you that were thinking of starting a business. It's also showing that you do not need to be partnered with somebody to be worthy. However, I see partnership coming in. The reason it comes in is because of that sense of just like the Ace of Cups overflowing. You're more than enough for yourself and for others. When the cup is empty, it's harder to find partnership, whether it's love or friendship or business. So really feel this sense of, I've got this, I can do this, and anybody would be lucky to have me on their team, whatever that team might be. And that's the big takeaway here. The Emperor card is like the paternal energy in the major arcana. Emperor and Empress, mother and father energy, tend to give more than they receive. And one of the karmic lessons, since this is in the past for some of you, is that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to receive abundance and good stuff when it comes into your life. And really just to be ready to say, yes, please, let's bring this on. So whether you need to ask for help or simply be in the receptive mode and with gratitude, just let it come. That's what I'm getting with this card, okay? And then just doubling down on your power and your sort of ability to lead. It keeps coming through time and again, okay? As we take a look at the crowning card, we have the first of two of your challenges this month. So this can be the inner saboteur. 5 of Swords can be almost like the devil that sits on your shoulder. And what it does when it's in our head space, the program is you can't win with the 5 of Swords. As a person, it's someone who doesn't take accountability, doesn't listen. They're already kind of getting to the next set of the argument without really ever engaging with you. But it's much easier to define as the inner saboteur, which is nothing's good enough. And it'll keep telling you, you can't do this. You'll never accomplish this, or this isn't going to happen, or it's worse than you think. And it's not true. It's just shadow energy entering in to try to throw you off of the abundance that wants to come through in the form of this Sun card. So give it no mind, pay it no mind. And I always say it's not a worthy energy to engage with, whether it's a person or a thought process, because it's not receptive. It's just there to agitate. So if you are in the presence of a person who lacks integrity, who can't listen, who doesn't listen to constructive criticism, just focus on something else. Or if there's someone who also likes to kind of poke at you and get a rise, that can also be the Five of Swords. Generally speaking, it's agitating, and you don't have time for that this month. Reprogram the thoughts and release the connections, and that's going to free up your resources and get you closer to those one or two beautiful beacons on the horizon that we see with the sun that has the twins and then the Two of Wands here, okay? Now, it's okay to be upset. Some of you are grieving something in your life. Could be loss of a loved one. It could be things just not going the way you planned. It could be your own sort of pressure that you're putting on yourself, trying to measure up to these sort of unrealistic expectations. So allow yourself what you need to do to kind of like release it, and then focus on what you're going to do with that. Okay, clearly that doesn't make me happy. How about this? Both the Five of Swords and the Three of Swords it's kind of like it's a step on the path, but you don't want to stay there too long. It's almost like you're waiting for a signal to change. If you stay there too long, it takes longer, the light changes, and you miss a connection. So obviously, we always need and want to process our emotions, but I'm encouraging you to, if you need to reach out to get help. We saw that here in the Ten of Cups, friends and family members, or possibly even a counselor. Whatever you need to do to get that support so that you can then cross and make the connections that I see coming through for you, okay? So managing emotions, managing negative thought processes or negative people, and allowing yourself to move past a disappointment. Those are your big challenges so far. Thankfully, they are fairly manageable and you don't have to do it alone, okay? A change of environment, to quote Sheryl Crow, change could do you good. So changing your environment, changing your schedule up, this can help you connect with this world energy, which wants to come through as well. Okay, you're pretty darn good here when I'm looking at what represents you. Nine of Cups, very positive energy. It's basically a wish fulfillment card, but it is also a highly emotional card. So some days feel amazing, best day ever. Some days feel like you're spiraling. And what we really need to do is to get further away from those two extremes and get you somewhere closer in the middle. If we take a look at the environment again, it is the Ten of Cups. This is possibly the answer to what I was just talking about. People can come through and help you see the silver lining, help you see how it's all connecting. Friends, colleagues, counselors, and just new people that are bringing in new life, new energy, new ideas. If you're looking for love this month, yes, you can find it. If you're in an existing relationship, there could be more harmony. If you want to reconnect with an old friend or loved one, this is also very auspicious. Love, relationships, and core sort of people in your life, again, are playing a pivotal role. So let's continue to focus on that. And as we expand the forecast, we'll drill into this a little bit deeper. We actually have a lovely card here in Hopes, Fears, and Opportunities. It is the Nine of Pentacles. And this represents the ability to get back on your feet, to see some independence come through. And there is a reminder on this one that it is not about how quickly you get to the Nine of Pentacles, but to basically do something right the first time. I think it helps to always go back to the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith card. We see the little snail in the corner, and it's reminding us slow and steady wins the race, and then you can finally really enjoy what you've done. So do it right the first time, take your time, feel good about it. Don't launch or initiate something prematurely. Make sure that you feel good about it, and in doing so, you're going to really not have any regrets. This is ultimately a firm foundation upon which you can do what you need to. So I do feel like you're rebuilding in the best possible way. Take time to chip away and get understanding and clarity on whatever it is that you need. And in the long run, it's all paying off here. We have the Two of Wands. This reminds you of the importance of dreaming, continuing to daydream, to dream, to plan. And it's not just a wish. I talked about this with a recent sign. wishes, to quote Dolly Parton, are just something that you kind of put out there and you don't put a lot of energy into it. It's interesting that this envisioning card or dreaming card has fire beneath it, and she was talking about getting fire in your belly. A dream gets you up every day and you're like, I want to bring this to life. So think about what it is that you want to bring to life. Think about how it is you want to make that happen. And the more you breathe energy into that each day, the more that it can happen. You might be looking at me and saying, Nicholas, bring it down to earth. I need to understand, when is this going to break through? A couple of weeks, folks. It could happen in a couple of weeks. 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. We're not looking out past that. I told you this is 6 to 8 weeks. So it's in the short term, it's imminent. And so for those of you that are looking for a breakthrough, it's at hand, but it's important to get one thing I meant to mention here with this genie card, the 9 of Cups. Your positivity attracts other things. So when you still feel very positive and affirmative, then that reconnects you with the 2 most powerful cards here at the center, the sun and the world. So you are your own best magnet and attractor. We want to keep you there so that things can really get into this breakthrough energy. Let's take a moment now to expand the forecast to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. We're going to begin with the energy of health, which is your mind, body, and spirit. Let's see what the Oracle card has to say with this. We have a card here that's really closely connected to the Hermit in Tarot. The title says Cave, then it says Sanctuary. Some of you may be feeling like you just need to pull back a little bit and focus on taking care of yourself, and that's okay. The Hermit card is associated with education, self and personal development, and also healing. So if there's anything where you need to heal, this will help you with this 3 of Swords. After a breakup or disappointment, we need a little bit of time to mentally and emotionally recalibrate. Take it if you need it. There is, though, also a double-edged sword here. So I like that this person's in a cave. You're not going to connect with what we saw in the environment here, the 10 of Cups, in that cave. You're going to have to get out and meet and greet. So know that perfect, or find that perfect amount of time between healing and working on yourself and sort of recharging, and then also getting out there in the world. A little bit of give and take is necessary here. And I'm covering up this beautiful handprint on the wall, and it's reminding you here that there is a helping hand that wants to come through. It's just a matter of, are you ready to receive it, right? I have another deck that I read with, I think it's Wildwood Tarot, and another card with someone in the cave where the same sort of handprint is on there. So similar imagery, but it's always a reminder that sometimes you have to be the initiator. Sometimes someone's waiting for you to allow them to help. So ask if you need it, receive it if you can, look around if you're unsure. I do think there are resources to be had, and there does come a point where the house and the walls around you can sometimes close in, and you might need to get out and explore, which is why the World card came through right at the center. Let's take a moment now and just look at overarching health messages with the standard disclaimer that if anything's going on, you want to work with a professional. Okay, changes are underway. It takes time for changes to basically start to show up. So if you just started to, for instance, change your diet or exercise, it might take a while for all of that to manifest in the body. Give it time. Same thing with mental health. It takes a while to get the tools and to understand how to use them, and then eventually you start to get the liberation that is the Moth card. You may have some sleep challenges because a moth is a nocturnal insect, and so some of you may have your days and nights mixed up, or you might be working a night shift. Try to regulate that however you can. Maybe that includes just, drinking a little less caffeine, or just turning off the lights at a certain time and saying, I need to go to sleep. I get it. Sometimes it's hard to do that, but try. As we take a look at I'm looking at the heart in this one. There could be a lack of exercise, so this can really be calling you to focus on cardiovascular health. If there's a family history of heart disease, blood pressure, or like sugar issues, all of these things are coming through 3 of Swords, and just a reminder that you have to be the one that kind of breaks that familial or ancestral energy and takes charge, right? I also see pregnancy. So if you've been trying to get pregnant and haven't had a lot of luck, some of you might be on IVF, or might just have a big surprise here where it's 2 instead of 1. So we're seeing multiple opportunities here, or multiple windows. It does look like you could get pregnant this month. So stay positive, and not just pregnant. It could be for those of you looking for adoption. I did mention, look at it from different perspectives. So if one window or sort of pathway isn't working, try a different one. This is true of jobs, like looking in a different industry. This is true of love, looking in a different geographical location or opening up what your ideal age might be. All of this stuff, like getting past the box and saying, oh, there's other ways to achieve the end that are equal to or greater than what I was dreaming of initially. And that can help you get through this. Not being too hard on yourself, it's an emotional one, but it's coming through in health again, especially if you've made a less than ideal choice that might have created some challenges. It's just about the choices you make from this point forward. That's all you can control is present energy that will then affect the future. Don't overdo it. Any changes or anything in general, this can be self-medicating through whatever your vice of choice is. So really be mindful of moderation and ask for help if you need it. That's why the 10 of Cups is there. Otherwise, it's a very good spread. Okay, so those are the high-level messages with respect to health. Let's move on to wealth, which is your resources, your life purpose, and your career. And we do see a breakthrough coming in this particular card. It says, answering the call. If I had to pick a tarot card that would be connected to this, it would be the Judgment card. In the Judgment card, we have Gabriel with its horn, and we have souls rising up from the dead. It's the second to last card on the major arcana, and you got the World, which is the final card at the center. So looking at wealth, feels like you're just one step away from something breaking through. I mentioned a couple weeks, a couple months. It's around the corner. There could be a chance to... there's actually three things that just came to me, so I need to take my time. The first one is if someone doesn't answer or if someone refuses to answer, you don't need to chase the call. They give them time to answer, do a couple of follow-ups, let it go. The answering the call is also about answering your higher calling. So if you've been wanting to try something different, the time is now. That's literally what the card says. The time is now to open that door, and in that door, then we are going to see multiple paths to happiness, fulfillment, and success. And there's also simply a mental switch that you can change, which is it's going to change now. You're going to say to yourself, the time is now. I don't need to struggle anymore. I'm going to just turn a new corner. And I had a great experience once. We're looking at wealth, but this is important. I was just experiencing some challenges with, of all things, my car. And part of it was because I was tired, and there were just some issues with the car, and then I had a couple of fender benders and things like that. And I had this yoga teacher that just said to me, make a commitment to me. No more issues. We're done with that now. She said, in front of me, your teacher, in front of the divine and your higher self, say it. And you're making a contract, so mean it. I don't know what about that worked for me, but it worked. And so Virgo, this month, you can see me as a teacher if you'd like. And you're there and your higher self is there. Let's change this energy in your wealth or in your money or in your sense of empowerment. The time is now. Enough is enough. You don't need to repeat it anymore. You don't need to wait anymore. Things are going to change, but you have to make that decision. I'm done with this lesson. Take it, universe. Let's open some doors together, and let's look at the cards, Virgo. Okay. I don't know why I was clapping. I like it. It emphasizes things. Let's look at this in three different perspectives. Those that already have a job seekers, and those who are basically students or retirees. Okay. If you're in a job, there's a chance for it to change. You have a growth opportunity. It does seem to me like it's been a long time coming. If you want it, speak up. The time is now. You have a chance of getting it. You will be upset if you let your shadow mind or your negative thought process get in the way of this door opening. So don't be afraid to be the initiator if there's something that you want. Just do so in a way, of course, that is appropriate, but like just put it out there and show the value that you bring. That's one thing that I see. So there's a chance for a breakthrough. It's going to require a little bit of work on your part. If you want to do it, go for it. We see that it may not happen in this immediate month. It could be a quarter of the year from now or even next year, but they could start to put it into motion. And that's the important thing here, is to get that underway. For the rest of you, let's say you're happy with your current status. There are some interesting things going on. There's some morale or leadership issues here with the Five of Swords. People, there's some irritation, and you might be irritated by a coworker too. I get it. Some of you are just not happy in the path. Like there may be money or you may like the people, but the job itself isn't what it's cut out to be, or it could be the flip side where, you know, you love the job, but you don't like the people. There's something about the mix where it's like oil and water. And at the end of the day, it just kind of leaves you feeling discombobulated. In that case, I think it's important to see what else is out there. This is very much about looking to the horizon. It brings about the Three of Wands. Also, working with others to create change if you decide to do so. The good news here is it does feel like power in numbers and their support here. So see what others are thinking on this. The only thing that's kind of interesting, and I've been seeing this in a few spreads, is the World card could also be like, if you're working in a company, it could be changing, could be going public, it could be going private, it could be, there could be a merger, that could explain some of the morale things. It does seem like it's a better change, it's change for the better, but it can still be something where it's not what you didn't sign up for that. There's someone new coming in, because we have all these boss energies. So make sure that that's something you like. Very similar to what I was just looking at for Libra. So your two signs are going through some shakeups this month. It could be change for the better, but you have to make sure that it feels right for you. We have cups here, but I don't get a lot of how you feel in this spread. So I want you to tune into that. Okay. And that's what I'm picking up here. If you need to do any contract renegotiation or are kind of looking for a raise, I do see that potential. It just may not be in the timeline that you want. There is a little bit of a pause button there. Okay. Shifting to those that are seeking work. I can see what's going on with the Three of Swords. Disappointment. And I mentioned here that like the moth, you're at one of these phases. Some of you are just in that gestation, the cocooning energy. And you're like, when is it going to happen? When is it going to come through? To help you get out of the cocoon, to help you create or foster the breakthrough, look in different locations. If you're willing to work remotely, or if you're willing to travel or relocate, the world can open up new opportunities there. Really pay close attention to corporate culture. You can't change it. You need to be okay with it. And you don't want to, I see a sort of cyclical thing where some of you keep getting into environments where the morale isn't what it should be. So really sort that out before you accept something new. That could be why you're not hearing back from certain places. The universe is trying to help you find something better. Really lean into your existing network, whether that's friends, family, LinkedIn, or any sort of social network that you can use to create the connection. This is the time. It's your goodwill. You've done a lot for others. I mentioned the maternal paternal energy of Emperor and Empress. So you basically now are able to cash in on that goodwill. Don't be afraid to do so. I'm just getting a lot of twos, the two at the center and the two here in the outcome. So 2 weeks or 2 months, it's probably somewhere between that. I'm like, I always say this reading is 6 to 8 weeks. It does feel like it'd be towards the end of those ranges there. So a little bit longer than you expect, but worth the wait is what I see. Okay. Let me see if there's anything else here that's important to kind of what we're looking at here. Oh, something could be changing here. This is why maybe you're not seeing what you want. I feel like someone may have listed a job and then they unlisted it and then they're changing the description and it's going to be something different. The moth should be better with the moth. So maybe the role is better paying or the title's more in alignment with what you want. Keep an eye on some of the boards or some of the job sites and just see if something doesn't get relisted and possibly something falls through and then there's a chance to go back at it a second time, because I'll pull the Judgment card as we're talking, but Judgment card can be a second chance and it's a chance to rise up and do better than you did before. That was the whole goal of me in this whole move too. I'm like, if I have to start from scratch, we're going to do it better this time around. So here's your Judgment card, rebirth, reinvention. That's really what answering the call is about. So I was comparing these earlier. So see if you can't find an upgrade path this time around so that it's not the same old, okay? So I do see something. I'm not getting an immediate, like it's happening right now. I think the important thing here is to be patient and to be really mindful of what you're trying to look for. Lean into the networks and don't get disappointed. Remember that you need to stay positive and affirmative to kind of pull in the opportunities, specifically when you're sending out emails or applying, okay? Soon, but not yet. And networking is the key to success. And I mentioned forging some of those new relationships. So maybe this is a time to get involved with professional organizations and to just put yourself out there a little bit more. As I take a look at students, I want to just bring this card up one more time. If there's something that you've been wanting to do in a course of study, if there's an opportunity that you need to go after, whether it's an internship or a travel opportunity, yes, that's what we get right now is yes. And it's really important to reach for that opportunity right now. The World card is going bigger. So if there's someone in your life that tried to make you go smaller or made you feel like you couldn't do it, this is the reverse of that. And it's basically saying go for it. You may want to study in a different country, state, or province. This is a global card. So this is encouraging that. Don't move forward if you're not happy with the school or the course of study. It has to feel very much aligned to you. Here are the things that are most important. I feel like some of you might be doing a double major with the 2 babies and the 2 wands. So we have a double major, and then we have away from where you live. So out of state or out of country. Really important that you like the people this is student life, but this is also faculty. And it might also be student to teacher ratio. And we're looking at maybe something where there's a shorter ratio. So it could be like 1 to 10, like 1 teacher to 10 students. So a very smaller kind of college or program here is what I'm picking up on. And it'll make you happy. And follow what makes you happy. But I'm getting something global. I'm getting doubles, so double major, double minor, something like that. And it feels like you're going to have to fight your own sort of inner saboteur, or maybe parents or siblings or someone around you who just doesn't want you to go after it. But ultimately, you're fine. You're fine. You just have to kind of get past the mental blocks. For those that are retired, well, you are the moth. This is a chance to explore something from a different perspective. You may also be dealing with this nocturnal stuff that I was talking about. So you suddenly have a lot of energy at nighttime. I think, first of all, there could be a big sort of creative rush that's coming through. So you may decide to channel that into something artistic. You might also decide to hang out with people and grow your social network a lot more. And so retirees in particular, we're not even looking at love, but that's coming through such an important piece. You're going to love these friendships because you've lived and worked long enough to know that at the end of the day, that's like the most important thing. It's the people, right? And it's the connections. So spend some time, whether it's through local activities, faith-based activities, or travel. Spend some time with the people that you love. That's really the takeaway here. And if there's anything that you want to work on, now is the time to breathe some life into those dreams. You have a chance for a new chapter, something really exciting. You could start a business. You could start something new, and it's like you have this rebirth. I like to remind people that there are some great actors and artists that had the best part of their career towards the sort of latter years. So like Sir Ian McKellen, he's been working and acting for a long time, but right around Lord of the Rings and thereafter, he became very, very famous. Elton John's had a good career, but it really picked up later as well. Tina Turner, there's so many examples out there of people that had like a second life after their first career or their first moment. So now's a chance to reinvent and have some fun. And just because one section is done, that doesn't mean that the second act can't be amazing or the third act can't be amazing. Okay, let's look at the next piece. We're going to look at love and relationships. So we have, I love this one. It's reversed, but let's turn it upright so we can read it. It says, become the elixir. Let your glow do the heavy lifting. It's the star energy. There's a lot of words on this deck, but I love the illustrations and I love the overall vibe. She reminds me 100% of the star, because the star has the 2 cups, finds balance, and is the channel, but the star realizes it is the source. So becoming the elixir is kind of like becoming the star. You have the sun at the center, which is just the word that we use to describe our star at the center of our galaxy. So there you go. Don't underestimate your power. Let's look at this in 3 perspectives. Those in a relationship, looking for love, or happily single. If you're in a relationship, if we look at past, the near future and the outcome, there's a little bit of challenge going on in one or both of you, but the outcome is positive. So manageable stress, manageable sort of communication challenges, but in the end, it looks like things will land where they should. a lot of energy going into if you have children or nephews or young people in your life, a lot of energy going there right now. I do feel like both of you are very, very busy. So we have two equally matched energies here, the King of Pentacles and the Emperor. But it may be difficult to kind of meet in the middle. So make sure that you're making time not just for the people that depend on you, your children or family members, but also for the two of you. Date nights and activities where you can just have some fun. Make some time for yourself. Nine of Cups is fulfilling your own dreams and your own wishes. Deal with challenges together. Lean on one another. Lean on support if you need it. And I do feel like you're going to figure out things like the resources, the money, etc. It's just about communicating this month and working past this. So there could have been, this can be someone else in your life that's getting into the middle here a little bit, the Five of Swords, someone who just says something and it sits with both of you. It's none of their business how you're living your lives or what you're doing. It could also be one of you that just was stressed and wasn't able to listen to the partner. So you can just own up to that, or they can own up to that and move beyond it and just say, all right, let's do better moving forward. I feel like there's a very small communication issue for some of you, or it's just your own feelings of frustration. And it's how to, like, sometimes we can't just put a beautiful silver lining around it. So there may be someone else in your life that you can talk to instead of the partner, so you can exorcise that, get it out, and then have like a normal conversation with the partner. Okay, that's my takeaway there. If you're looking for love this month, can you find it? Yes. For some of you, there's someone from the past, and I was picking up on that. Okay, so this morning, I feel like this really is for those looking for love. What struck me was this feeling of nostalgia, like you really, really were thinking and missing somebody, and you wanted to pick up the phone and check in with them. So I think the important thing in this, I should say, is when it was over, was it like, were you happy that it was over? If so, could it just be the lens of nostalgia? What you might be looking for here is someone similar, but not the same. And I think that's really what I was picking up on here. Sometimes things because I saw an start and an end point for some of these. And what Spirit said was brief but beautiful, or brief but important, but it isn't something you necessarily need to relive. So that's from channeled remembering here. I saw it in the dreams and now it's coming back. I think the karmic energy when I was looking at these past relationships had to do with people that didn't always listen, or maybe did have a way to agitate you sometimes, or maybe, again, it just was acrimonious. There were some good times, but there were some challenging times. So looking forward and looking beyond that, I really think that you can and will meet people through doing more activities. We have to get you out of the safety of the cave and get you out there to mix and mingle. And so the Ten of Cups is water. So there could be a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces coming into your life right now that could bring in really great energy, and just be open. And I think the main takeaway from the channeled messages in my dream interpretation is, let's focus on the new chapter. Let's look at something greater than or equal to what was, but not the same as. We're not going back to repeat. If you need to say something, I love you, I'm sorry, thank you, whatever you need to do to express that can help with the healing for sure. But I do think it's about forward-looking energy. And this new partner that's coming in, I don't think is part of your existing tribe. This is somebody new, and I just get an upgrade. It should be an upgrade. You can do even better this time around, okay? And again, with the twos, just like the job seekers, it could be a couple weeks, a couple months. It's not always going to happen in the month that I'm reading. So what I get here is the necessary waiting period. There's past life energy. The moth, when you meet someone that has that past life energy, it is just going to be your heart skipping a couple of beats. You will know without a shadow of a doubt. So soon, but not necessarily just yet. You can speed it up if you want to by getting more involved in the world around you. And I feel like this person will cross paths with you. Be awake, be aware, be open, and you will bump into each other. Okay? That's what I'm picking up on with that. If you are single and happy, good for you. You can really focus on, so star energy is spiritual. Star energy is like an actor. So you might be deciding to, it can be an actor or an activist. It's very visible, it's very seen. So anything that you want to do in the public, in the limelight, in the spotlight, anything that you want to do to use your platform to bring attention to others, this is what I'm picking up on for single and happy. A great chance for travel, or a great time for travel rather, if you're open to that and you have the resources to do it. And it's really important to focus on personal healing at this moment in time, since we have the Three of Swords here. All right, great energies across the board. Let's move on to the Destiny card. So we have release. This is basically like the Death card. And you got cards that reminded me of Judgment. You have Death, we have the World. So major shifts and movements and changes. So for some of you, this is the feeling that you're at a dead end. And that could be stagnation or lack of movement, in which case you can spread those wings and try something different. If something isn't working, don't repeat, try a different path. This can also be rebirth, reinvention, all the stuff that we were talking about with this. So you're going to do it better this time. You're going to do it bigger this time. You're going to do something, basically embrace change. And also let it go. Let something go. You were holding on to something, and now you're not anymore. It could be an old relationship. It could be an old feeling, an old thought. Whatever it is, this month, again, just like I was talking about my teacher, let's let it go. Let's let the cycle go. Let's let the thought go. Let's say goodbye to that chapter and hello to something bigger, better, and brighter. Let's move on in that energy to take a look now at sun, rising, and moon sign to give you a little bit more clarity about what's possible. All right, let's give the cards a shuffle. Sun, rising, and moon. All right. Sun sign first, we love it. We have High Priestess energy. If you can see it, if you believe it, you can actually start to manifest this. And we have a third baby, 3 babies, because we have the 2 at the center in the sun. So there's 2. I'm covering up one of them. One's on the lap, one's in the corner. And now we have a third one here with this High Priestess. And this one is yet to be born. High Priestess energy is one of, it's conceiving. It's at the very beginning. It's the seed or the possibility. So when and if you want that one to come through, there you go. But I see 2 or 3 opportunities that are about to open up for you. They're not, this one is more distant. The other 2 are already kind of around you. So I like that. This is also a reminder to elevate thoughts and remember that how you think, it absolutely forms your environment and your experiences. So try to stay in a affirmative POV. So I can, I will, I am, I'm ready, I'm worthy, I'm able. All of the I am plus a very positive word to kind of bring in the necessary change. Highly creative for those of you that want to write or produce or direct. This is a very good card for that because it is the ultimate creative card. Intuitive development. Listen to your intuition before you even act on something. Close your eyes. Feel your stomach, feel your heart, listen to your third eye and your mind. What's the first feeling that comes through? That's the strongest, that's the compass. That'll help you decide, should I move forward, okay? That's the takeaway for sun. Rising sign. We have the Knight of Cups. Things are starting to move in the right direction. I feel like, I love that this is kind of like a leaping up above the water. So if there was any sort of feeling that you lost some time, this is making up for lost time. This is also you throwing out your best, the best version of yourself. Always showing up feeling like this is the best that I have to offer, and it's good enough for me, it's good enough for you. And really, again, that positivity is what's going to pull things in. There could be new love, new friendship, and this knight is willing to go the distance for it too. So if you don't feel it, don't expect others to, and don't do it. So that's the main thing here, is hold back until the heart says yes. And that's the big takeaway for this. But yes, there could be love, and also it could be, we got some clarity here for those that are looking for love or an opportunity. It could be in the form of like Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, water. Okay, moving on to moon sign. We have the Seven of Pentacles. So it's slow, it's steady, it's healing, it's growing. Some of you are worried about finances with the Seven of Pentacles. You have to do what she's doing in this illustration, which is continue to invest time and energy into what it is that you want and give it time. It's not like Jack and the Beanstalk. Things don't grow overnight. They do take time, and given that time, they're going to be exactly where they need to be. Don't overextend yourself. Don't overpromise. Always be a little bit conservative on, delivery dates and expectations. And in doing so, you probably will be able to surprise people and make all obligations. Be mindful of expenditures in money as well. We're not looking just at your time, but also your money. And when it comes to general healing in your life, give your body time to heal. It takes time to do so. But this is a card trending in the right direction as long as you don't overdo it. You have a chance now to look at one last card. Anything that you're still wondering that I haven't had a chance to look at, let's go ahead and see what Spirit has to say. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, ask that question to Spirit. Let's shuffle the cards. Okay, it's the only one that came through reverse, but it's supposed to be reversed here. The Ten of Swords in reverse is a card of healing and release, really nicely connected to this message. There's no such thing as failure as long as you're learning and adjusting. So are you taking past and present lessons to heart and deciding, I don't like this, that didn't feel good, I learned a lot from that, now how can we do better? If you do that, you're not failing, you're doing exactly what you need to do. You just called in a difficult lesson. Really focus on not overworking. Don't be a perfectionist. And if there is any sort of health challenges, often in the form of chronic pain or fatigue or something going on in the neck or back, obviously take care of that. As a yes or no, this is a no. This is saying there's something better or you're not ready yet. Give it some time, okay? And that is everything this month. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Always my pleasure and honor to be here to channel the messages and help you see what's possible. We did see that friendships and partnerships do play an important role this month because it was in the environment. So those can be the support people, the connectors, the people that are just going to help you see what's possible. So really put some time and energy into that this month. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing. It's 100% free. It lets me know that you like this. And most importantly, it helps other people find it because that's how the YouTube algorithm works. I don't know how or why, but it does. So like the video. And if you've never subscribed before, please do so. You can give me a follow on social media as well. That way you'll never miss a future video just in case the YouTube notifications don't get pushed through. It's always my name, Nicholas Ashbaugh, on all major platforms. You can always go to my website or the main channel page for links to make sure that you've got the right Nicholas Ashbaugh. There are imposters out there. Just remember, I don't offer private readings. I don't use direct messages. I'm not going to use comments to try to sell a product or service. So just block and report if you see that. If you want to give back, you can do it right here on my channel through super stickers, super chats, and through memberships, all of which help me rebuild my studio, show up more often, and basically help you out. So thank you in advance. But also at the end of the day, just thank you for showing up. Your presence here, that's why I'm here. So thank you for taking time, for working on yourself and being the absolute best part of what I do here on YouTube. Wouldn't be here without you. Wishing you all the best. Take care. Check out my weekly and daily readings as well. And until I see you again, lots of love and light.